as the summit has started to roll and I've started to get amazing, fun, super fun feedback on the speakers, the very first text that I got from day one was this: really enjoying the speakers today. Super big smiley face. And obviously, I was so appreciative and happy to hear that our hard work was paying off, had paid off, and that somebody was enjoying the interview. So I said, that is awesome to hear. Who's your favorite so far? And they said, I really liked the hypnosis guy, the number one dude. He had good stuff. And that was Dom the Hypnotist. And he talked about retraining our minds, and he talks about hypnotherapy and some other great tools and techniques along that vein. So here is the sneak peek interview, a sneak peek of the interview with Dom the Hypnotist on the Tools for a Good Life Summit. And we get to hear a little bit of his background, and then you get to hear the question that I ask him that he answers on the summit. Enjoy this teaser of Dom the Hypnotist. Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Mischa Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within. Welcome back, everybody, to the Tools for a Good Life Summit. And right now, I would like to introduce to you Dom, and I might butcher your last name, so bear with me, Bertoncini.
Yeah,
How do you do?
You hit it right on the head. I'm surprised.
All right, fantastic. AKA, or also known as Dom the Hypnotist.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell the people a little about you real quick.
Cool.
All right. So, Dom, you're certified in hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, neuro-linguistic programming. You specialize in helping people get rid of anxiety, depression, and limiting beliefs so they can live the life that they want. You have worked with some of the top athletes in the NFL, UFC, and Olympic athletes from all over the world. And a fun fact about Dom, you get randomly referenced by UFC fighters on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that intro. And, sometimes people think that I only work with athletes, but I work with everyday people like myself, right? There's only so many, athletes that you're going to be able to work with just because there's only, you think about the NFL, there's only 1,000 people. And out of those 1,000 people, I have a small group of people that I work with, right? Same thing in the UFC. There's only 550 people on the roster.
Yes.
So sometimes people think, does he only work with athletes or, whatever? No, I work with everyday people, like I said, like myself, like yourself. So
yeah, perfect. Thank you for that. I will tell you, as I've been putting together this summit, and I was searching madly for a hypnotherapist.
How did you find me? Did you go on Instagram and you went to the hypnosis tag or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly. Yes. And yeah, it was interesting. I'll tell you, you can find obviously a ton of people that way. And what I loved about you and what drew me to you is you seem like a down to earth, real, like here's a real, you present it in real life terms, which I think is so powerful. Yeah. And then I'll tell you too, I was like, you invite a few people, and I'm like, gosh, I hope Dom says yes, because I like your message. I think,
Well, I think I got an email from you, and then I thought it was spam, and so I just kind of ignored it because I get emails like that all the time.
yes,
People asking, "Oh, do you want to get your blue check mark? Do you want to get this or that or whatever?" So
yeah,
I just kind of ignored it. And then the second email, like I don't know what caught my eye, but I think it seemed like it wasn't spam, and I kind of read through like, oh, this guy actually looked at my account. It wasn't just a blast email. So yeah.
yes. Yeah, cool. Tell me just real quick, at 2 to 3 minutes, how did you get involved in hypnotherapy and NLP and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so it was actually completely random. So, ever since I was maybe 18, 19, I've always been into NLP and hypnotherapy and everything else. Because for about 11 years, from 18, 19 to about 31, I had done insurance sales. So in insurance sales, or any sales job, you're always constantly trying to improve your mindset, trying to get better and more effective at what you're doing. And so I had known about it for a very long time. But I've been doing this a little bit over 2 years. It's been March 5th, 2009, March 5th, 2019 is when I graduated my first course. But
Yes.
what happened was my mom, she's into personal development. She's pretty successful. She owns an insurance company or an insurance brokerage as well through State Farm. And so she's always doing personal development. She's always going to seminars and courses, all this. And so she had went to an NLP course and she was telling me about it. And she goes, yeah, you learn how to do hypnosis and this, that, and the other. And yeah, it only took 2 days to learn it. And I was kind of blown away because I thought that it was something that it would take months and months and months of training before you could get to like hone in your skills. Right. So that's why I never really got into it, because I don't have the time to go through all that. So she was telling me about it. I was like, wow, that sounds pretty interesting. So I don't know, a couple months go by and she ended up surprising me with it as a Christmas gift. So Christmas of 2018, she got me a 3-day introductory course. So I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. Best Christmas present I've ever had to this day. So I went to the course and I had literally zero expectation of doing this for a living. Like I was just going to get rid of my own problems I was dealing with and maybe learn like a cool trick or something, make people sleep. So like you see on YouTube, right? So I had, like I said, zero expectation that I was going to do this. So I went to the course and I just fell in love with it. I was really good at it. I took to it pretty well. And after that 3 days, I really felt a shift in myself. Like I could literally feel just energy coming out of me. Like I could put my hands and feel it, and I never felt that in my life. I always thought the chakra stuff and all that BS. I was like, that's fake. That's not real. And then I actually felt it coming out of my chest. I was like, oh my God, what was I holding on to? Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
So I thought, I was like, man, if I could help people feel like this and I could do this for a living, I would way rather do this than selling insurance. So I had made a goal initially to transition from doing insurance to doing a full-blown hypnotherapy business. And I figured it would take me about 6 months to build up a clientele and everything else.
Yes.
So when I got out of that course, I literally had zero belief that I could charge for my services, right? So I had no real confidence, because when you're in the course, you're doing it with people that paid to be there. So it's a little bit easier, right? They're a little bit easier to do the process with. So I thought, well, is this going to work on people outside of the course, right? So then I just started offering free 20, 30-minute sessions through my Instagram for anybody who was interested. So within the first week, I worked with 45, 50 people, just any free time I had, just back to back to back to back to back.
Yes.
And then the second week was the same thing. So within about 2 weeks, I worked with over 100 people, and they were people were promoting it on their Instagram, their Facebook, and everything else. So I got to the point where I was like, well, hey, I have so many people that want to do this that I have to charge for my services, and I have no time to do insurance. So I remember it was literally 2 weeks of the day. I woke up, I actually had a full schedule that day, and I called my assistant. I said, hey, look, call these people and tell them I'm not going to come to the meeting. I'm done selling insurance. This is it. I'm never selling another insurance policy for the rest of my life. And then 2 weeks in, I stopped, and then now we're here.
Wow, Dom, that is amazing.
Yeah, it was
Thank
like
you for that.
completely random. Yeah, I had no zero expectation, but I'm so thankful and grateful for my mom for doing that, because had she not, who knows, I'd probably still be selling insurance, hating my life, looking for something else that's more fulfilling, and I was one of the lucky ones, I guess.
Yeah, what I love about that story too is, the serendipitous nature of it obviously is great, but clearly the tool itself in action. So
yeah, that's the main thing. You're
yeah,
talking about taking action.
no, yeah, taking action, and also the tool itself, like that
Oh yeah,
tool, the gift, the serendipitous events of your mother giving you that for a gift,
you're
right?
all right.
And then you dove in, and then you do it, and then to take to take the action that the tool inspired in you, right?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
totally.
And yeah, so
Yeah, I just became obsessed, man. I was just like, it was all I thought about. And it's still, I mean, I'm still obsessed, but like, that it's like that new car smell, or the new car you buy for the first like couple of weeks, you're like, oh my God,
yes.
and it was just so exciting. So yeah, I really, I'm like, I always tell people there's the three best decisions I ever made in my life. Number one, having my daughter. Number two, starting my hypnotherapy business, and number three, moving to Las Vegas. So yeah, it's been great. It's been truly life changing.
That's amazing. I'm just taking note on that. Your daughter, the starting your hypnotherapy business, and then moving to Las.
Yeah, it used to be, before that, it was, man, the best decision I ever made in my life was getting out of California and moving.
Yeah.
But then when I had my daughter, and then started to change.
Yes, kids are amazing. We're going to save that for the bonus round.
Okay.
Yeah, I have two sons, 18 and 20, and they are at the time of this, and they are just, it's an amazing experience. Big gifts too. All right, so let's get to the meat of the matter. I'm going to give you a scenario, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, fantastic. So given this scenario, think of life as a three-legged stool of relationships, finances, and health.
Mm-hmm.
And now think of someone who was or is successful and has had two of those legs fall out from under them. So this could be a combination of divorce, career upheaval, financial stress. These kids that we're talking about, kids acting out and not going the direction we want them to. There could be physical health challenges for themselves or for a loved one, maybe a death in the family, and or continued failed relationships. And for me, it was, I went through a heavy divorce. Both my parents died in rapid succession within 2 weeks of each other. This was all going down. My career went, this is about 10 years ago, my career went into upheaval and, financial distress. And up until that point, my pull myself up from my bootstraps mentality, that fix it mentality, had worked, right? But then all of a sudden, I needed new tools, and it was clear, like working my way through it, like more success, more money, more toys was not going to solve the problem. So I needed new tools. So my question to you is, thinking of hypnotherapy as a tool, what are the exact next steps you would offer someone like me who's in that situation, so that I know I'm headed in the new right direction, that I'll have positive momentum towards getting my life back on track?
Good. So it's actually funny you say that, because those are the three main areas that we help people with: health, career, relationships. And usually, for the most part, when people come to us, one of the areas is good, but the other two are out of whack. Everything's out of balance. So, so there's a couple of things.
And you are just going to have to go register to hear the rest. Go to toolsforagoodlifesummit.com, register for free. You can watch all the interviews virtually. Dom the Hypnotist knocks it out of the park. Enjoy. Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.